count on. You're watching WTVM News Leader 9, sponsored by Montlick and Associates, Columbus Injury Attorneys.
And good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for News Leader 9 at 5. I'm Jason Dennis. Barbara is off this afternoon. We begin with a WTVM exclusive involving a lawsuit from the man hoping to unseat the current mayor of Columbus. Our Rosalind Giles has been doing some investigating and joins us now in studio with the details on the reasons behind this lawsuit. Give us an update, Rosalind.
Well, Jason, Columbus mayoral candidate John Anker is suing the city of Columbus, saying he was not given information he formally requested about a recent jail audit. Mayor Skip Henderson says the lawsuit is baseless. Take a listen.
I'm not trying to play a political game. I'm trying to get to the truth. And I shouldn't have to work so hard.
The city of Columbus has nothing to hide, neither does its mayor.
Lawsuit late Friday against the city of Columbus after he says the city refused to honor his more than 6 requests for information on the most recent jail audit. Anker showed us paperwork that indicates he requested the information on April 3rd and still has not received it. Anker says he put in an open records request for the details of that audit and that the city is refusing to provide the information. That prompted him to file an emergency injunction demanding the details of that audit immediately.
It's been 19 months. That's the first thing. It's making the hair stand up on the back of my head. The second thing is an audit normally takes at long length 7 months to complete. It's been 19 months. The third thing is they've never disclosed it.
The audit that he referenced in his lawsuit had not been completed until today, so it didn't even really exist. But rather than kind of put the citizens in a position where they're incurring legal expense, we've talked to the auditor, asked if they could get it ready today.
And Mayor Henderson says the information Anker is requesting will be made available to him immediately. Mayor Skip Henderson says that information will be made available to him immediately. As we just said, we're hoping to get our hands on that document today as well. Jason.
All right, thanks very much, Rosalind. We will keep everybody updated on what happens next with this. And turning to crime, which is a top issue in the mayor's race, a trio of siblings making their way before a Muskogee County judge today. Newsletter 9's James Giles has more details on how the three reportedly conducted a string of robberies over the course of 4 days.
20-year-old Kevian Andrews, 18-year-old Trevian Andrews, and their juvenile sister are all facing multiple charges to include armed robbery and aggravated assault. Police testimony from Recorder's Court Tuesday suggests the trio went on a 4-day crime spree on Bland Street in South Columbus. Police say from April 16th to the 19th, the trio robbed several cab drivers, a woman in the neighborhood who sells snacks and candy, and a pizza man. Police even go on to say an elderly cabbie was shot during the course of one of the robberies. Police arrested all three April 20th on multiple felony warrants the same day they searched their home where they were found on Bland Street.
We were able to locate the victims from the robbery, cell phones, the firearm from the first cab driver, and the pizza box with the order number and the phone number from where they had requested that order through Papa John's.
And so like we know now that there's at least 2 separate incidents allegedly. There's different levels of credibility and testimony and bias and everything. And so it's just a matter of sorting through all that, which takes a lot of time.
And Anthony Johnson is representing Kevian Andrews. He says his client is also answering for charges related to a separate incident back in December. The 20-year-old was allegedly involved in a back-and-forth shooting spree that spanned over 2 days with Demetrius Jackson. Police say he and Jackson argued over social media stemming from sexual relationships with various women. You may recall Jackson is one of 2 reported gang members recently arrested on nearly 50 warrants in March of this year. Now, all 3 robbery suspects entered a not guilty plea. The case will be bound over to Superior Court, where the issue of bond will be handled from there. Reporting in Columbus, I'm James Giles for WTVM News Leader 9.
And for updates on this story and others you see in our newscast, you can download our free WTVM News app. Talking some weather now after a good streak of mostly dry days. Some of you may have seen some of those raindrops today. Here's the view from our Alert Center sky cam. Looking out at Opelika, and Chief Meteorologist Derek Kincaid joins us now. And Derek, we're starting maybe a new streak for dry weather, hopefully.
That's right. As we get ready for the rest of this week, we will dry things back out. But today, or even this evening, still some rain out there. Light showers north of Columbus, bending back over toward Auburn and Opelika, over into Harris County. As we mentioned yesterday, some slightly heavier showers, even a few storms in the mix, the south and east, the further south and east that you head out of Columbus. A storm about to move into Americus there, one near Preston, and around Cuthbert, some rain. But again, many of you haven't seen much in the way at all of rain today. The showers to our north are very light, and again, the coverage just isn't going to stay high as we take you through the next little bit. Our temperatures still warm, and yeah, it's still muggy out there too. 72 in Columbus, but it feels warmer than that. How about 88 down in Albany, but some cooler air not too far away. That's going to move in after this rain moves out. So our temperatures will start to fall off tonight after sunset. And we're going to tell you a bit more about that, and we'll keep looking ahead to the rest of the week and preview that upcoming weekend here in a bit, Jason.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, Derek. A wanted sex offender has been taken into custody by the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office. Take a look at your screen. 41-year-old Dontarius Hill was arrested a week after deputies asked for the public's assistance in finding him. Hill was wanted by the agency for 2 counts of failure to register as a child sex offender and for violation of probation. According to the Sheriff's Office, his initial charge was child molestation. Looking ahead, this Saturday, April 30th, the Muskogee County Sheriff's Office also will be participating in the National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. That event happening at the Muskogee County Jail from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Saturday. The National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day aims to provide a safe, convenient, and responsible means of disposing of your prescription drugs. It also helps to prevent the misuse and abuse of prescription medications that might otherwise fall into the wrong hands. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency authorized collectors to provide a year-round drop-off places to the public to dispose of their unwanted pharmaceuticals. If you have any questions about this event, you can contact the Investigations Bureau. We have that number on our website, WTVM.com. Developing today, Vice President Kamala Harris has tested positive for COVID-19. The White House announcing that Harris got positive results on both a rapid and PCR test this morning. Her office said she's not experiencing any symptoms. VP Harris releasing this statement on Twitter saying, quote, "Today I tested positive for COVID-19. I have no symptoms, that is, and I will continue to isolate and follow CDC guidelines. I'm grateful to be both vaccinated and boosted," end quote. Nearly 60% of Americans now have antibodies from getting COVID-19, many of them because of Omicron. The CDC says during the Omicron surge this past winter, the percent of Americans infected with COVID-19 saw a big increase. And with the biggest increase since seen in kids and teens, the study showed nearly 75% of kids under 18 have antibodies now from the coronavirus. So what does this really mean for keeping people from getting sick in the future? Experts say they still don't know how long infection-induced immunity will last, which is why it's important to get, they say, vaccinated and boosted. In Alabama, a hearing set an effort to block a new transgender law in the state. A federal judge will hear arguments next month on whether to block an Alabama law banning the use of gender-affirming medications to treat transgender people under the age of 19. The hearing is scheduled for May 5th. Now, the law would also make it a felony for medical providers to give puberty blockers and hormones to transgender teens. Breaking the law, that would be punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Now, if it's not blocked, the law will go into effect on May 8th. This week is National Crime Victims' Rights Week, and you might have noticed a garden of pinwheels outside the Lee County Justice Center and throughout that part of East Alabama. Hive Nutrition and other local businesses are partnering with the Lee County DA's office to raise awareness. The colorful pinwheels are not just for decoration. Each color represents a motto during this week to help crime survivors find justice. Monday was Wear Red for substance abuse awareness, and Hive's drink of the day was Everest to help overcome that mountain. They say that they will be having a new drink of the week every day and donating some of their profits every time one of the drinks are purchased.
We have a drink that color coordinates with one of the colors on the district attorney office pinwheel outside. And for each day of the drink, we donate $1. Kind of just help out with the cause and spread awareness.
Doing a great job for the cause. And today the drink of the day is called Queen Bee to Always Be Aware, representing sexual assault awareness. Some good news. A young woman from East Alabama is among the just announced top 10 on this season's of American Idol here on ABC. Kezia Lady K Estonia made her way onto that finalists list last night. The 25-year-old Tuskegee resident and her 9 co-finalists are heading to Disneyland now to prepare for their next performances. She's now Alabama's only contestant left on American Idol after Tristan Gressett of Pell City was eliminated on Monday. Well, coming up, former President Trump's chief of staff voluntarily giving thousands of texts to the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack. More on this coming up.
And after the break, we'll look ahead to your forecast, getting the rain out of here tonight, and then looking ahead to some cooler days ahead.